Hostage negotiations unfold in structured phases, initiating with a ceasefire and the release of approximately 30 hostages. However, this incremental strategy raises concerns among families who seek a more comprehensive resolution. In response, families of the hostages actively protest, urging the Israeli government for a swifter resolution. Their desperation is palpable, particularly after enduring nearly 440 days without significant updates. Complicating these negotiations are the ongoing political dynamics in Gaza, where Hamas retains control. Discussions surrounding potential leadership changes and the Palestinian Authority's role emerge as critical factors for achieving lasting peace. It is essential for the Palestinian Authority to engage in governing Gaza to prevent Hamas from reclaiming full authority and posing ongoing threats to Israel. This effort requires robust international support, notably from the US and Gulf states. President Mahmoud Abbas's recent visit to Cairo underscores a dual-track strategy encompassing economic discussions alongside hostage negotiations, suggesting a comprehensive approach toward peace. These negotiations encompass potential agreements for the release of hostages and Palestinian prisoners, illustrating the careful balance between Israeli security priorities and pressing humanitarian concerns. The Israeli government exhibits caution in releasing individuals with histories of violence, prioritizing deportation over reintegration. This stance reflects past experiences with failed hostage exchanges. Simultaneously, Iran's Revolutionary Guards are consolidating control over oil revenues, which fund various regional proxies. This financial surge raises alarms regarding Iran's nuclear ambitions and destabilizing activities throughout the region. Internal pressures within Iran, including economic crises and public unrest, may influence the regime's nuclear strategies. The growing tension between the government and Iranian citizens is becoming increasingly pronounced. Iraqi advisors report pressure from the US and its allies to disarm armed militias, signaling a potential shift in regional power dynamics. This request underscores a growing alignment with American interests. This development carries significant implications, as Shiite militias serve as key Iranian proxies in the region. Their disarmament could notably weaken Iran's influence in Iraq and beyond. Engagement between Iraqi Prime Minister al-Sudani and Saudi Arabia promotes regional stability, suggesting a broader coalition forming against Iranian aggression. This reflects a potential shift towards cooperative relations among regional powers. Investigations into mass graves have uncovered evidence of torture, starvation, and executions conducted by Assad's forces. Such brutality has drawn widespread international condemnation and calls for accountability. Witness testimonies reveal horrific sights of bodies disposed of in mass graves, underscoring the ongoing human rights violations in Syria. Urgent international oversight to preserve such evidence is essential. Amidst this grim reality, hope persists among Syrians for a future liberated from the Assad regime. Many displaced individuals express a strong desire to return and contribute to the nation's rebuilding efforts. In Yemen, the Houthis have adopted ruthless methods reminiscent of the Assad regime, raising alarms due to their persistent attacks on Israel and international shipping. These actions accentuate the region's ongoing instability. The effectiveness of US airstrikes on the Houthis remains uncertain, however, they aim to reduce threats to international shipping and regional allies. The balance of power in the region continues to evolve. Iran's strategic setbacks may impact its support for the Houthis. Increased US military pressure could significantly alter future conflict scenarios within the region. Recent reports suggest that Hamas is reconsidering its demands for a full withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza, potentially indicating progress in negotiations. This shift may lay the groundwork for a ceasefire. The situation in Syria continues to deteriorate, as UN forces return while Israeli troops withdraw. Evidence of war crimes under Bashar al-Assad emerges, raising profound humanitarian concerns. Iran's escalating nuclear ambitions pose a significant international threat, evident in its substantial increase of enriched uranium stockpile. Such actions evoke criticism from Western nations, wary of potential military applications. Concerns regarding rising anti-Semitism in Ireland have surfaced following the October 7 attacks, alarming Jewish and Israeli communities. This trend reflects a broader narrative of increasing hostility. The Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, persist in operations against Hezbollah in Lebanon, illustrating ongoing regional tensions. Recent IDF initiatives include the destruction of a command center utilized for rocket attacks. As hostage negotiations gain momentum, families demand the return of all captives, leading to widespread protests in Israel. The urgency reflects a deep longing for resolution amidst the enduring conflict. The Israeli government confronts pressure to negotiate hostage returns, although this may necessitate the release of dangerous individuals, provoking public outrage. This dilemma complicates the leadership's decision-making process. Public frustration is palpable, as many Israelis call for an end to the war. Yet, fears regarding the ramifications of such a conclusion threaten to ignite political turmoil. Despite military operations targeting Hamas, the group retains control over Gaza, complicating Israel's post-war strategy. The absence of a viable political alternative exacerbates the potential for ongoing conflict. In the Radi village, local residents accuse the Israeli military of forcibly evacuating them and conducting searches, illustrating the fragile situation prevalent in the region. This scenario underscores the ongoing territorial disputes. The Israeli government, represented by figures such as Deputy Foreign Minister Sean Heisel, harbors suspicion towards the new Syrian leadership, likening them to terrorists. This skepticism complicates any prospects for diplomatic relations between Israel and Syria. Reports indicate an expansion of Israeli military operations beyond the established buffer zone, targeting remnants of Assad's regime and Iranian forces. This strategy reflects Israel's commitment to neutralizing perceived threats amid ongoing instability. Israel faces significant criticism for its military strikes in Syria. However, there is minimal condemnation of Turkey's ongoing military initiatives against Kurdish factions, raising questions about international bias. The Abraham Accords, a noteworthy milestone in U.S. foreign policy, currently experience scrutiny for their stagnation under President Biden's administration. A solitary Democratic representative attended a related commemorative event, exposing partisan tensions. A lawsuit against the U.S. State Department has emerged, filed by Palestinian families alleging human rights violations tied to military support for Israel. The lawsuit's outcome could significantly challenge existing U.S. foreign policy frameworks. The prolonged conflict in northern Israel has severely impacted the local economy, straining businesses and tourism. Many establishments remain shuttered due to safety concerns and the absence of visitors. Businesses that remained operational during the conflicts primarily service military personnel, indicating a marked shift in clientele. Fast food outlets, tobacco shops, and gas stations exemplify this adaptation. Efforts are underway to aid displaced residents and local businesses, including care packages featuring local products. Such initiatives aim to alleviate the conflict's adverse effects on communities. The emotional toll on small business owners is significant, as they navigate uncertainty about their futures. Many entrepreneurs stress the importance of fostering community ties beyond mere economic recovery. The initial demands from Hamas have evolved, potentially paving the way for more constructive dialogue. This evolution is crucial for advancing the peace process.